All right, hi everyone. So wanted to record a video for a question I got, and I get this question sometimes. It's about running payroll simulations on people in Employee Central Payroll. And so I have a video on this previously, so I'm starting here in the Payroll Control Center. And one of the things that I've shown in a previous video is that you can use the My Off-Cycles application. And if you set up the regular period on demand, you can actually run a simulation for an individual employee and kind of simulate what their payroll is going to look like if you wanted to. The other thing that I actually have a different video on is you could do the same thing in the full-blown off-cycle workbench. And so showing the same employee here, I can come over here to the payroll button, do the regular period on demand, and do a simulation for the employee this way as well. So have a different video on that. Feel free to check that out if you have a question. But what I'm going to showcase here is actually using the payroll driver. And so I have a tab here for payroll simulation. My longtime SAP people will probably be very familiar with this. And so what I'm going to do is come take a look here. And what I can do is I just want to run an individual like I've done kind of with the other ones. I can come here and actually search. And so this is similar to other things I've shown in videos where, if I have an individual, I can search for them here, select them, and then I can just run this individual. And so that's just come in here, press this execute button, and there you go, right? And so I ran the simulation for this one employee. However, one of the other things you want to do, and I'll clear this out, is if you want to run a group of employees or more than one. So if you have the IDs, okay, great. I could actually enter a range or enter a list. I could copy it from Excel if I've got it from a different report. And I do have a video about, running reports. And so it's something you could certainly do. But the other thing that I think is useful is there's this search helps functionality. And then you can select like organizational assignment, right? And so in this case, what I can do is look for a specific, what we call employee subgroup. So this, in my system, is how I delineate between like hourly versus salaried people. And so in this case, for me, my group is U0. And so this is my name of my employee subgroup, or hourly. So I can select this, and this will then make it so I run within this payroll area or pay group US, but I'm limiting it to specifically people in this pay group that are in my employee subgroup of U0. In this case, my hourly people. And so in my system, I have 4 of them that are hourly people. And so the system will run. You can kind of see what's going on here. And then it's actually going to bring up the pay statements for these 4 employees. You can see it's document 1 of 4. And you can actually scroll through this pretty easily. Just next document, see my Oliver Perez. Next document, Paul Cook. You can kind of see some of the specific details here. And then the last document over here. And then if I go back, just so you know, I'll press enter on the screen. What I just ran was the current period, which is based upon the control record in SAP, and that's how you control the periods. But I can also simulate a future pay period if I want to too. So I can change this to 2/2024. You can see the dates change over here, and so that'll allow me to run a future pay period. And once again, I do have the option to run different groups of people. So I will say, with this being said, what we really want to do is not run payroll simulations like we used to, because you can do so much of this in Payroll Control Center, right? And so I actively advise people against it rather than going and doing things manually. Why not have the system and do things by having alerts in the system? So sure, if you want to go spot check a few people here or there, maybe you can do so. But generally speaking, I would highly recommend using PCC, setting up rules, because that's always running continuously in the background, and it'll identify scenarios happening for you, and then it'll also give you like the KPI data. So yes, it is possible to run individual or multiple payroll simulations on people in Employee Central Payroll, but at the same time, I think the best way of doing this really is by using PCC to utmost of its capabilities. All right, thanks for watching.